using Vance's statement as evidence of how completely our political system has abandoned reality in favor of manufactured narratives.
If you have to have sex with yourself again, I can bring you a rag.
Vance's journey from principled conservative to shameless sycophant perfectly mirrors the broader theme of South Park's Sycophancy episode.
Boss, the plane is here from Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
I know, stupid. Let's go.
Well, another day, another dollar, right?
No, don't start relaxing, Tattoo. There's been a change in the schedule.
What is his fantasy, boss? What is his fantasy, boss? Hey,
Will you get out of here?
South Park just torched J.D. Vance so hard that even his biggest supporters didn't see it coming. The vice president isn't just mocked, he's reduced to a spineless sidekick, and the episode doesn't hold back for a single second. If you thought political satire had limits, this episode just shattered every one of them.
Oh my God!
would you like me to apply the baby oil to Satan's asshole, boss?
Okay, look, I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Enforcement.
I know, stupid. Let's go.
Well,
From the very start, South Park wastes no time reducing J.D. Vance to a walking punchline. He's drawn as Trump's tiny, obedient sidekick, a baby-faced political lackey whose sole purpose is to nod, agree, and obey. The show exaggerates his subservience to the point where it's almost painful to watch, and that's exactly what makes it so devastating.
J.D. Vance just got obliterated by cartoon creators in the most savage way possible. South Park's latest nuclear strike exposes everything wrong with our vice president's spineless politics.
One of the episode's sharpest digs comes straight from real life. In reality, Vance once called Trump incredibly transparent while defending him over controversial files. South Park takes that line and fires back with brutal sarcasm. We can absolutely see right through him. It's a single, perfectly timed punch that says everything without spelling it out.
Hey, buddy. Welcome to Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President.
What is his fantasy, boss?
Hey, will you get out of here? Listen, buddy. I would offer you an incredible opportunity.
Then comes the physical humiliation. And honestly, this is where the writers go for the jugular. In one scene, Trump literally kicks Vance off screen like a football, and here's the twist. Vance doesn't even flinch. No protest, no pushback. He just reappears moments later, ready to serve again like nothing happened.
Relax. Take your load off.
Boss, the plane is here from Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Through these moments, South Park paints Vance as the ultimate yes man, someone so eager to please that he's practically invisible in his own position of power. It's not just a joke about him personally, it's a statement about political sycophancy at the highest level.
Hey, Satan. Meet the new face of Homeland Security.
Whoa! Oh my God!
I just want to go. This place is gross.
Would you like me to apply the baby oil to Satan's asshole, boss?
Okay, look, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm gonna just take a little break here.
Hey, come on. Relax, gang.
If you thought South Park would stop at subtle digs, think again. This episode goes all in on J.D. Vance's humiliation. One of the most outrageous moments happens when Vance barges into Trump and Satan's bedroom. Yes, you heard that right. Satan's in the picture, and it only gets more unhinged from there. Without missing a beat, Vance awkwardly asks Trump if he should apply baby oil to Satan. A grotesque exaggeration of blind loyalty that lands perfectly. It's bizarre, shocking, and absolutely hilarious.
Trump calls annoying and stupid, with Trump even kicking Vance off screen at one point like he's a football, but the VP loyally returning to his side as if nothing happened. And then separate from the administration itself, South Park made fun of Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk.
But the writers don't stop there. South Park doubles down on the humiliation with another visual gag. Trump kicking Vance off screen like a football. It's fast, brutal, and symbolic. And here's the kicker. Vance comes crawling back without hesitation, as if nothing happened. That's the genius of the satire. It doesn't just make fun of Vance, it turns his unwavering devotion into a running joke.
Down. And then, separate from that, they included JD Vance this week as a pint-sized babyface sycophant whom...
Through these gags, the episode transforms Vance into a living caricature of hollow loyalty. He's not portrayed as a strategist, a policymaker, or even a leader. Instead, he's framed as someone who exists solely to validate Trump, no matter how absurd or humiliating the situation gets. It's exaggerated, yes, but that's exactly why it hits so hard.
Farm workers and no one else is going to do it. He's like, well, my favorite solution to that is, he's like, we're going to automate. And so with AI, we can automate a lot of farm stuff, and then we won't need the undocumented immigrants or real workers. And I was like, that is so fucking dystopian.
The book made him a darling of liberal elites who thought they'd found their authentic voice of middle America.
South Park doesn't choose its targets randomly, and J.D. Vance was practically made for satire. His political journey is the kind of storyline the show lives for. He first rose to fame with his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, where he built a reputation as an authentic voice of middle America. Back then, he privately criticized Trump and even distanced himself from the MAGA movement.
But wait until you hear what the creators really thought about him.
A little bit of like a fatter JD
Yeah,
Vance
they've done
face.
that. They put him on the meme path,
Which
which
is
is
great.
to the bigger face.
The creators portrayed him as exactly what he's become.
Fast forward to today, and he's the vice president, one of Trump's most loyal defenders. That complete reversal makes him a perfect character for South Park to tear apart. By exaggerating his subservience, the writers highlight how ambition can reshape integrity and how power can push leaders to abandon their earlier convictions.
Cult TV show South Park prides itself on always pushing the boundaries. It's been that way since it first aired back in August of 1997. Now the program has taken aim at US President Donald Trump.
The satire isn't just aimed at Vance as an individual. He's used as a symbol of a larger problem: politicians who trade authenticity for influence. South Park turns his transformation into a warning about how easy it is for even the most independent voices to get swallowed by the system once power is on the table.
Today, a White House spokesperson issued a statement saying in part, quote, South Park hasn't been relevant for more than 20 years.
When a satirical cartoon makes the most powerful office in the world react, you know it's landed a solid punch. After the episode aired, the White House released a statement dismissing South Park as irrelevant after 20 years and accusing the show of being desperate for attention. That in itself speaks volumes, because if the show were truly irrelevant, there'd be no need to respond.
So, South Park just aired the most savage political episode of the year yet.
But South Park being South Park, the creators didn't back down. They doubled down. The episode itself is structured like a counterpunch, exposing how obsessed politicians are with image, praise, and constant validation. By portraying the White House as a literal hellscape filled with chaos, ego, and desperation, Trey Parker and Matt Stone turned the backlash into part of the satire itself.
Of course, referencing the White House last month responding to the first episode where they said, the show hasn't been relevant for over 20 years and is hanging on by a thread with uninspired ideas and a desperate attempt for attention. But really, whatever you think about South Park, they have people's attention. And they got it again last night on an episode that focused on the elementary school counselor, Mr. Mackey, where he loses his job because what the Trump administration is doing to schools, and because he needs money, he joins ICE for its large salary. And as they're mocking the low quality of people being allowed in,
this clash between South Park and the White House only amplified the episode's message. It wasn't just about J.D. Vance anymore. It became a commentary on a political system that can't take a joke without proving the joke right.
And then it gets even better. Or worse. They take us to Mar-a-Lago Fantasy Island, where Trump and JD Vance are basically LARPing as fascist overlords in a mega-themed amusement park.
Here's the twist. JD Vance isn't even portrayed as a central villain in this episode. South Park doesn't paint him as the mastermind behind anything. Instead, he's shown as a minor cog in a much larger, broken system. That's the real sting. His humiliation isn't just about what happens to him on screen, it's about his irrelevance in the bigger power game. By making him the ultimate yes man, the writers highlight how easily politicians can become background props in their own administrations. Vance's constant obedience, exaggerated loyalty, and eagerness to please serve as a mirror for a political culture that thrives on validation loops and performative loyalty.
South Park just humiliated the Trump administration again. Though this time it was less about Trump himself and more people in his orbit. But also it even started before the episode aired last night.
In doing so, South Park uses JD Vance as more than just a target, he's a symbol. A reminder that in today's system, even high-ranking leaders can end up serving the machine rather than shaping it. And in the process, the episode turns his entire persona into one giant punchline about power without influence. While JD Vance is out here getting turned into a cartoon meme, you can do us a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Vice President JD Vance took a slightly different approach. Instead of being the butt of the joke, sharing his South Park moment, saying, "I finally made it. Bring back the group chat."
So, after getting absolutely torched in South Park's Sicko Fancy episode, JD Vance didn't lash out, complain, or demand an apology. Instead, he took the safe route, leaning into the joke. On X, formerly Twitter, he shared a still from the episode and simply wrote, "Well, I finally made it."
Yeah, I mean, first of all, South Park is something that has been fun and making fun of people for, I don't know how many years, 20 years. But was a little surprised that was her reaction, because she's tough. I mean, she's taken criticism forever, and I don't actually look at it as a woman issue. I just look at it as they're just making fun of everybody. I mean,
it's short, subtle, and calculated. Rather than showing frustration, Vance frames the parody as a sign of relevance, as if being mocked by South Park is a badge of honor. It's a clever move, but the internet wasn't buying it. Within minutes, memes exploded, mocking how Vance tried to spin pure humiliation into validation. By reacting this way, Vance avoided adding fuel to the fire, but the damage was already done. South Park didn't just make him part of the joke, it made him the joke, and the online conversation kept reminding everyone of that.
This wasn't subtle. This was execution by satire. And here's the wild part. South Park has always mocked everyone, but lately, they've been turning their focus squarely on the real power grabs happening in America.
And that's the beauty of South Park. They didn't just roast JD Vance, they turned him into a living meme. One episode was all it took to reduce the Vice President of the United States to a tiny, spineless sidekick everyone's laughing at. But here's the real question. After a takedown this brutal, can JD Vance ever step out of Trump's shadow? Or is this his new permanent role? This video is made solely for entertainment, commentary, and educational purposes. All opinions expressed are based on publicly available information and do not intend to harm, defame, or insult any individual, organization, or political entity. We respect all people, beliefs, and viewpoints. The goal is to analyze satire and media portrayal, not to promote hate or misinformation.